Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to show you how I did this illustration of Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles. This was done on my iPad Pro using Procreate, and this is a redraw kind of this older illustration that I did with markers and ink pen. I feel like it's a pretty vast improvement. I really like this drawing. The pose is super dynamic. I really liked it. But I actually did all the Ninja Turtles, and I'll be doing videos on all of them. But this print is done on art paper, and I recently started doing prints again. You can go to sketchytrav.com and check out the prints I have for sale right now. They're 13 by 19 paper with an 11 by 17 paper size. So I have this one and quite a few other ones. This is a Boba Fett one. I think I showed a few other ones and they're all signed and numbered down here. Like in these, this is my little signature box that I used for years. So let's get into how I did this. So right now I'm going to show you how a drawing comes to life, how these drawings start, and the process I go through while I'm drawing. Right here I've got a 30-second clip that I exported. It's a video. You can kind of see the drawing come to life. So I'm gonna go back, and this Procreate does this automatically, which is a cool feature of Procreate. So right here, I get to this stage, and basically I'm just blocking in the character, blocking in the shape of the character, getting the mass, the weight of the character, and the pose correct. I feel like with digital art, that's an area where my drawings are so much, I just feel like the characters have so much more weight to them because I'm blocking things in versus doing outlines and drawing it more in a pencil way like I did before. I'm drawing more like painting. So I feel like I get a weightier character, a character that has a lot more substance to them, like shape to them. And another big reason for that is, right, like as I add light source, I'm adding much more dramatic lighting. So before, like with this drawing, you can kind of see there's different highlighted areas in the character, but there's no real dramatic light source. Like the underside of this character is all pretty much the same value as his head and stuff like that. This is a very flat drawing, as where this one has a lot more depth to it. He's got a lot more shape to him. He's very much more modeled. So I feel like you can see the roundness in his shoulders and his head and things like that versus my traditional art that I used to do. And this is something I've wanted to accomplish for a long time, is making my characters have more depth. You can kind of see where I add lighting. These really dark shadowed areas, I know there's not going to be a lot of detail there. Those areas, that's where I'm really getting deep with that dramatic lighting, is I really want those to be in shadow, and I really want the highlight and the focal points to be where the light is hitting, like around his head, his eyes, and his upper body. And anything that fades into the shadowed area is just kind of a resting place for your eyes. I feel like it makes for better artwork. So I start that lighting process here. You can see the real dark darks and then the lighter lights on, and this is still just kind of a rough getting the form down of the character. Then I start to add little details like the little veins and things like that. But I still stay pretty loose with it. And then right here you can start to see me blend in some, like use the airbrush tool. And I'm adding kind of darker areas, but kind of more of a mid-tone. So right now I'm going through adding more of a mid-tone and a little bit more details. Like I didn't really like his face, so you can kind of see me alter that right here. I didn't like his having pupils in his eyes, so I get rid of those. And I definitely like the way that looked. I like just the simple slits for his eyes right there. I thought that turned out pretty cool. And then the bandana thing, this is the drawing that started that, and I really like just this very graphic, sharp angled bandana that kind of has a lot of movement and has a lot of contrast to the organic form of him. So I really like that. And I actually really, I erased part of his bandana because I was going to get rid of it, and it left these little traces of the erase, and I actually really like those, and I left them. I felt like they added just this artistic quality to it that gave it like movement and stuff. So I really like those, and so I kept them. So right now I'm going to go into the actual illustration, so you can kind of see very detailed just how rough some of his face and skin is. And like I said, I kept that on purpose. I didn't want it to look too airbrushed. I wanted it to look very painterly. To add these little highlights, like on his sword, I just come in here to my brushes, and this is luminance, and this flare right here. Let's see, you can just see it kind of happen right there. And I just add one. I didn't need more. And then just to undo, go like that. I just wanted it to be kind of subtle. I didn't want it to be too dramatic to where it draws your eye to it immediately. Another cool thing that I just left were these little kind of particles from his feet kind of moving. I felt like that added to like the movement of the drawing. And I'll show you real quick how I go about. You saw me drawing it in the video, but the brush I always use is Nico Rule, and I'll just show you real quick. Say I select this green, and anywhere I put my finger like this, it's just selecting the color. So if I want that blue, I just got it. It's right there. It's very easy, quick color reference tool. So I just grabbed this kind of mid-tone green. Say I wanted the green to come a little bit further onto his head, and just do that. Maybe I wanted his jaw to be sharper or something. I grab a darker green and kind of make some layers so it's got a lot of like depth to the color and stuff. Now let's say I wanted to blend it. I'd come in here to the smudge tool and kind of blend out the edges so it's maybe a little bit more gradual. And that's a cool thing. I've worked on this drawing for a while now. Like I just pop this thing open, and whenever I want to make changes to it, I just like, maybe I see an improvement or something that I want to see, you know, that I'd like to do. And so my prints are always kind of evolving. So if you get like the first print that I do, it might look a little bit different than like the 10th print that I do. So that's why I number all my prints. So like this one is number 2 of this one, because I already printed number 1. So that's what it is. And whenever I print one, somebody orders one, I just print it out, sign it with the date and the number of the print it is. So anyway, I have the other Ninja Turtles to do in this, because I'm going to do all 4 of them and kind of talk about each one, as they're all very different. I try to keep the style similar, but this one's definitely the freshest of the 4 as far as the more painterly quality I used for it. But if you would like to see me talk about maybe some other stuff in those videos on how I did this, leave comments below for sure. Because yeah, so those are coming, and they're going to be a very similar video to this one. But if you'd like me to cover something specific on how I did a certain thing, I can do that in those future videos. Also, actually, before I do that, if you guys are into comic books, nerd stuff, Star Wars stuff, anything like that, I sell my prints as well at a local comic store called Geek Geek Nerd Nerd, and they do these awesome live sales on Facebook. And basically he sells all kinds of cool art stuff, but it's really fun. Like, he's a really cool guy. A guy's name is Chris, and they show all the new comics. He has surprise stuff that he does. I would check it out if you're into that stuff. It's really cool. It's Geek Geek Nerd Nerd on Facebook. So that's the video, guys. Again, comment below. If you like the video, share it. That'd be awesome. Always helps me out. And if you have any feedback on the videos or my website, that website's brand new. So if you have some feedback there, I'd love to hear it.